I watched them at the weekend for the first 65, 70 minutes. They were embarrassing, is what I said on the telly, and they were. I watched it back again. It was like, no, actually, it confirmed it to me. They were really bad, right? And I've looked at them for a while now. And if they didn't have Bruno in their team, right, at times they look like a Div 1 team, because you look at it and you just think they've got they have no idea how to play out. I watched the game against Everton again and in detail, and the manager is being very stubborn. And this is what he said. They brought me in here because of the particular way that I manage and the style of football, and I respect that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling him to go away from his philosophy and what he's trying to coach as a manager to this team. But what I would say that momentarily in games, there's moments when you go away from what you're being taught because the game demands that from you. So if you're trying to play out from restarts with Onana at the back and play out through the back, and they're putting 4, 5, 6 players at the top of the pitch pressing you, there's going to be spaces somewhere else on the pitch to play over or around.
We'll get back to Rio in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And also don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And don't forget, if you've got something to say, as ever, please put it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always very interested in reading what is on your mind. Anyway, it's quite a big clip, this one. It's 11 minutes long. It's from Rio Ferdinand's podcast, and he's going to be talking about a few things. He's going to be giving a scathing review of Manchester United's performance against Everton. He's going to be talking about the brilliance of Bruno Fernandes, and he's going to be talking about the struggles of Rasmus Højlund, amongst other things. So stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on those 3 things as well. Here's Rio.
Man United are still trying to play ticky-tacky football around their own box and getting caught and pressed, and then they're conceding shots or corners, and it's just creating pure hysteria in the back line. So you think, naturally, game management, right, guys, someone's in there going, guys, play over that press. They got 4 or 5 of them on us, play over that. And by the way, at the moment, we're lacking any type of confidence to play.
That sounds like leadership. That sounds like, if you were playing, that sounds like leadership, where you go, this is what's going on. Can you give us, do you have any examples where you had to go away from Sir Alex's philosophy?
Yeah, mate, I swear to you, most away games we play, most away games, everyone tries to paint Sir Alex's tenure as perfect, right? But trust me, in Europe, at home here in the Premier League, teams that people will go, you're meant to blow away. Yeah. At times, we used to go to places like West Brom and that. It'd be graft, hard games. Right. When I got it, if I overplayed a couple of times, Scholesy might turn around and say, Rio, just play it in behind, feather it in behind their fullback, and let's get up the pitch for a bit. Or if one of us is trying to overplay, I'll be shouting it to someone, etc. And you're doing it. And
so you're managing the game better.
You're managing the game in the game. All right, and whatever the manager's told us, well, we'll get back to that. We're going to get back to that, but right now we are backs against the walls and we've got to play out. No, I remember Carrow Road a few times. Under it, man. Right, play it straight up to the forward, and that's another thing. They're not being able to play it up to a striker as well. Louis Saha was the best at it. Yeah. Sometimes you come on the pitch or we play an away game and you go, thank God we've got Louis today. We've got Cristiano, we've got Rooney, we've got Tevez, we've got Berbatov, but today, away, I needed him. And sometimes it's personnel. Yeah. We haven't got that right now, the personnel to make different changes and play. But what I would say with Højlund, one of his biggest traits is running. That's what I saw when I was at Atalanta, running through on things. Just play the ball in there, man.
Yeah, like we said last week, fighting too much with defenders, etc. Yeah. But that brings us back to Bruno. So sometimes we criticize him because we think, especially myself, I look at him and I go, oh, he's overdoing it with the chances, etc. But if you go back and you take a player that would have raised their value since coming to United, the only thing that would drop his value now is probably the age. But if you're looking at, if you was to have a resale value where you would get the probably the same price for a player, it's him. Is he disrespected? And if so, what's his stats saying about that?
Bruno is massively disrespected. All this talk about, he's not captain material and he's trying to look for negatives in his game. When you look, I'll read out his stats here. Since he's come, 28 goals, 18 assists in his first season. That's 46 goal involvements. 10 goals, 13 assists in his second season. Third season, 14 goals, 13 assists. 15 goals, 13 assists. He's got 10 now, 12 assists. That says to me, it's screaming one thing: consistency, output. Like, this is what this guy brings and delivers. And I look at it and go, some of the things he gets called out for are his body language, etc. Yeah, there can be improvements in there. But that is born out of frustration. That's born out of not being helped. That's born out of, you know what? I'm fucking doing my job here. Look at the stats. Look, I'm doing my job. No player's created more chances since he signed for Man United in the Premier League, by the way. Yeah, not Kevin De Bruyne, nobody. He's created more chances than anybody since he signed for Man United. So he's doing these things. So if you put a human touch on that, you would be frustrated. You would be pissed off that the club's signing players that ain't been able to deliver. You would be going and one of the things that he gets criticised for, and I understand why he does, but you've got to look at the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. Sometimes you see him going to the fullback trying to get the ball. Sometimes you see him going to the centre half to try and get the ball. Then you see him getting up front and on the edge of the box and trying to do crazy things. That's frustration because he's not being able to do what he should be doing. I know what he's being asked to do. He's not doing it. So, right, you get out of the way, holding midfielders, and I'll go and get it and show you what to do. That's what he's doing. If other people are doing their jobs, I don't then need to go there and try and show you how to do your job. That's what Bruno's ended up doing. That's why he's always, when you look at him, people go, oh, he's out of position or he's doing this. Because I actually feel sorry for him in a sense.
If he doesn't play, you're definitely looking at championship football.
No, I think they're a championship team when he don't play. Div 1 team sometimes you look at them because I think they're again lacking confidence. They're getting overrun a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. I think they get bullied sometimes. You look at them in the first 45, especially against Everton, second to every ball almost, outrun. For the second goal, outrun. And even the goal, the first goal from the set piece, they've had 5-6 opportunities to get the ball cleared. Do you know what I mean? Oh. And not get into it. Like, you can say luck, but it happens too often to be just luck. Do you know what I mean? Who's going to dominate and go and just get the ball and clear it? Okay, you look at Everton, different project altogether. David Moyes has gone there. They're flying now. The main thing it's off the back of is graft. Them players are going out there and grafting. True. If the Man United players can start with that, them fans who travel and pay their money to come and watch will be on side. Because one thing them fans appreciate is people that work and graft and don't get rolled over and are willing to meet teams nose to nose on the halfway line, anywhere on the pitch and say, yeah, and growl. Mm. You get your confidence through doing some of the dirty work. If they buy into that now, this team, you can build your confidence slowly over time. And the confidence ain't going to come back bang like that. You're going to need a few weeks at least with the amount of stuff that's gone on prior to this. So that would be my one word of advice for this team, definitely. Look like when you go to places like Everton, look like when you're at home, that whatever happens, guys, no matter who's watching this game, you ain't going to level at me a lack of hard work, a lack of intensity, a lack of aggression. I'm not saying they don't work hard, but in the right way. Run people down, make it hard for the opposition team, make the other team come off the pitch going, do you know what? They're lacking a bit of quality, this team, and confidence with the ball. But boy, we've had to graft to get out of here with anything.
Did you hear Amarim's quotes about Højlund? He said, sometimes he needs to realise he has to do a job for the team without the ball.
He's got to affect games more. Yeah. A number 9 in a team, either you've got to get in the box and get shots off. He got in the box once and he didn't look like he was ever going to get a shot off. Like, when you get in the box, it's about actually making the other defenders work, and they keep trying to make the keeper work. Yes, he's having limited time in there. Mm-hmm. And them stats tell you in terms of touches in the box. Gabriel, your centre-back at Arsenal's had more touches in the box than Højlund. And that's not just about him. That's about Man United's inability to create things in the final third.
That is insane.
Right?
That is insane.
It is. And that goes back to my point about Garnacho. Garnacho, he's 12th in the league in terms of entries into the box of the opposition team. That's why I'm saying you can talk about his quality. At least he's getting in there. At least he's got the balls to get on the ball and try and get in there and create havoc. Do you know what I mean? And it's not scientific or no science behind it, but the more times you're in the box, the more opportunities you're going to have to score goals. So he's the one in our team who gets us in there more than anyone else. Has to play for me.
Statman Dave, shout out to Statman Dave. He's been helping us with some of the specific analysis on Højlund. 2 Premier League goals this season. And he says Højlund is having a similar number of touches in the box as Chris Wood and Mateta. Wow. Højlund 3.6 and Mateta 3.7. Now, let me go back to Mateta first of all. that's mad because Mateta's getting the ball from outside the box a lot of the times and running at defenders. So we can't even compare what the two are doing. Like Mateta is on a different planet at the moment. And of course, Chris Wood, who's also had a good season with runners in behind, etc. But yeah, he's not getting anywhere near the numbers of shots away as those two. And he's only getting 1.4 shots away per 90 minutes. And that's 16 in total this Premier League season. It's not good news, is it, when you look at it?
But I don't think that's solely down to Højlund. I have to say, Man United in the final third, they don't have any ideas of how they're going to get into the final third. There's no patterns of play. They're trying to create patterns in their own third and the middle third of the pitch, but once they get into the final third, they're very much a team that just seem like, wow, we're up here, we're surprised to almost be there. So that reflects badly on him and his numbers. But what I would say, he doesn't help himself. No. I see some of the situations that he gets himself in, and he's like, he's bringing the ball in, and you're going, right, he's got it in, and then his awareness isn't there to see the next challenge coming in, and he gets taken off him.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't take shots, Rio. That's one of my biggest things.
Yeah,
he doesn't take shots. Like when do you look and go, oh, you know
what?
It
happened at the weekend. He got in the box, and he faced up the centre half, and he ended up going out and passing it out wide, and then he went back to the fullback, and it was like, well, you was in the box, man.
You've got to be selfish.
Shift it, bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Defoe in them situations there, shift, bang, goal. That can name loads of players that they live and breathe for that moment. It's just, I don't know. He's obviously lacking a lot of confidence. He's a young, I'm not trying to make excuse, but he's young as well, right? And I don't think he's helped by the fact that there's no one of any experience up there that you can learn off. I said this on the pod a few weeks ago.
Confidence, Rio.
Yeah, and confidence.
That is the key word. Yeah. Do you know why I say confidence? If you look...
Well, the game itself, we'll start there. I mean, please... have a little look at the Big D reacts to the Everton game. I did that the weekend right after the match when everything was all fresh in my mind. Now that the dust has settled, I'll sort of elaborate on that a little bit. I mean, the game didn't really start for Manchester United until 70 minutes in when Bruno scored a phenomenal free kick. After that, we just looked lively. And Rio makes an absolutely fantastic point in this clip, which is what the Big D's been saying for as long as time itself. Manchester United the players that is, they just need to put the effort in. And that's the reason the fans turned off Marcus Rashford, because they didn't feel as though he was putting the effort in. And yeah, the Manchester United fans will forgive a lot of things, but a lack of effort is not something that they will forgive. And there's so much talent in this Man United team. I don't care what anyone says. There is talent in this team. And if it just puts the effort in, it'll pick up points and it'll climb the table. It's as simple as that. And we've proved it so far this season. We proved it against Arsenal. We certainly proved it against the Scousers. And we proved it against Everton at the weekend for the final 20 minutes. And we got 2 goals. So it was a weird game to watch. I mean, it was entertaining, the final 20 minutes anyway. And I was kind of happy with the point. I thought we probably could have gone on and won it if we'd had a number 9, a proper seasoned number 9. But alas, happy with the draw, I suppose. It'll be good for morale anyway. Dorgu was class. Bruno was magic. Højlund wasn't very good at all. Which brings me on to the next point. Manchester United would be absolutely lost without Bruno Fernandes. Absolutely lost. He's doing for Manchester United now what David De Gea did for Manchester United when he was at his best. Just allowing the team to hang on. He's doing what Brian Robson used to do in the 80s for Manchester United when United were on a little bit of a lull. Bruno Fernandes is carrying that side. And I agree with Rio. I don't understand the criticism. Bruno is excellent. We'd be lost without him. Goals, assists. Fantastic player. You put him in Bayern Munich's team at number 10, in Real Madrid's team at number 10, Barcelona's team at number 10, Man City's team at number 10, he wins Ballon d'Ors. does. He wins Ballon d'Ors. He's better than De Bruyne. He always was. He always was. But De Bruyne, credit to him, he's still a class player. They could probably play together, to be fair, because De Bruyne plays really well as a number 8. Bruno as a number 10. They'd work phenomenally well together. But yeah, I'm glad we've got him on a relatively long-term contract because, we need Bruno Fernandes. But he does need help. He does need help. Rasmus Højlund, he's just a young kid that, yes, is lacking confidence, that would benefit from an older, wiser head that knows how to play at number 9. So Ruud van Nistelrooy as coach would have been fantastic for him. He needs to learn the positional sense because too often do we see him in his own half. And Rio's absolutely bob on there. Like, just stay at the top of the formation, so to speak. Don't be tracking back. Don't be going to the wings. Just stay in the number 9 position at all times, however the team is positioned. So if the team is positioned in its own half, defending, then just stay in and around the centre circle and make sure that you tell Bruno Fernandes or anyone else, Dalot, who's got a good pass, good long pass, to just look up and hoy the ball over the press, as they say in there, and then he can run onto it because he's rapid, he's fast. And just use the skills that you've got for the time being while you work on the skills that you don't have. Because he can finish. And if he kind of made a promise to himself that when I get on this pitch, first chance I get, I'm going to take a shot at goal. Doesn't matter if I miss, I sky it, it's the post, whatever. You never know, it might go in. Just, it's all up there with him. It's all up there. He's got the physicality. He's got it. He's got the ability. He's got the skills. He's got the athleticism. It just needs to click up here. And that's where a season number 9 coming in to take the pressure off him. And that could help him. Because I totally agree with a lot of what Rio Ferdinand's saying in this clip. It's not all his fault. He is suffering from a lack of service as well. Garnacho has improved, yeah, that's fair. Which is nice to see. He just seems to be getting his head down and trying to be as effective as possible. And Xerxes kicking on really well. So that's good to see too. He's really, really good on the ball. And he could be very useful when teams are defending on the low block. And he should be looking out for Højlund too. So long as Højlund gets in the right positions. But I think Højlund needs a little break. A little spell on the sidelines perhaps, just to sort of take the pressure off him a little bit. Because Ferguson was good at that. You know, if you could see a player struggling, he'd give them a little breather to compose themselves, regroup before throwing them back in. And I don't see why we shouldn't give Cheeto a little run out, because so what? 2 young players, fighting it out for the number 9 slot. He's worked well in the past for Manchester United. There's no reason why it can't work well again in the future. But the team as a whole is lacking confidence. We do have a nice little bit of balance though now that we've bought Dorgu. I did notice that was a plus point. Hopefully we can capitalise on that against Ipswich on Wednesday. But it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is on Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see if Cheeto gets a run out, and it'll be interesting to see if Garnacho starts alongside Xerxes, because Xerxes, I think, will definitely start. Whoever starts at number 9 is up for debate. Fancy, Casemiro didn't play that well, but it's his first game back after he's been on the sidelines for ages. Casemiro, I like Casemiro. I think he deserves a run in the side. Clearly he's not the player that he used to be, but it's going to take anyone a little run of games just to get get the momentum going and, get their head back into what they need to do. And you place him next to Ugarte, two similar kinds of players who should be dominating midfield. You've got the old head and you've got the legs in Ugarte. So they should be doing better than what they have been doing. But I fancy Bruno will probably start at number 8 alongside Ugarte against Ipswich, because of how well Garnacho and Xerxes did as well against Everton eventually. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell indeed. But anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think about the Everton game? What do you think about Højlund, Bruno and Garnacho? Is Garnacho improving? Is Rio right? Is Rio right in the sense that it's not all Højlund's fault, or maybe he's not working hard enough? And do you think Bruno Fernandes is as good as what Rio and the Big D say he is? And if you don't think he's as good as that, I'd be very interested to hear your reasoning behind that, because I can quite easily get some statistics up that goes alongside Rio Ferdinand's there. But anyway, yeah, as always, the Big D wants to read your comments, so you know where to put them, and the Big D will see you in the next one.